So we are going to do a complete and full restoration on this classic car seat, and on top of that we're going to obviously repair everything that you can see damage wise, that you can see here with all these bits hanging off. All the cracking is going to be resolved, and we're also going to change the colour to maroon. This is all being done for Practical Classics Car Magazine. So as you can sort of see, there's plenty of damage on here. It's all over it. The first thing we need to do though, before we do anything like this, is we need to get the leather cleaned. Once we've got the leather cleaned, we're then going to go to stage 2. And stage 2 is going to be a stage 2 and a stage 4. May sound complicated, but we want to clean the leather first of all with the LRC1 leather cleaner. Once we've done that, we're going to put some softness back into the leather, because it is actually quite brittle and dry in a lot of areas. So we've got to get that softness back into it first of all, before we can actually take some of this old colour off and do any of the repairs. Because if we try to work on it without softening the leather first, we are going to create damage, because you can see it's clearly got a lot of cracking and things in here, and this is quite brittle, as you can clearly see. You know, you can sort of see the way this is flexing. It is really brittle, so we need to soften that first. Then we're going to take the colour off the surface, not all of it obviously, we're just going to do enough so that it's got a key in there to take the new colour, so we're going to change them to maroon. Once we've taken some of the colour off, we're then going to soften it again, so that's stage 4. So we're going to clean it, soften it, prep it, soften it. Then we're going to go over to things like obviously repairing tears, scuffs, cracking and things like that. And then obviously it's, you know, again a matter of sanding, and then we would then go back to the colouring stages and sealing stages. So that is the full sort of processes that this seat will have to go through. It's quite a lengthy job, because it's a very, very delicate seat, and it's quite a important project that we've got here to do, to show you the process right the way through. And that's why we wanted to really explain everything in as full a detail as we possibly can. So we're going to start off. We've obviously got a soft sort of, bristle brush here. We've just got some old terry towels. These are basically old white like towels, you know, household towels. They're absolutely perfect for this sort of job, because it's such a grubby seat. We're going to, they're going to get very, very dirty. So the first sort of thing we're going to do is to simply spray the cleaner onto the seat. This has a lot of softeners in here as well, so it's absolutely brilliant to help soften. The noise sounds quite terrible, but disregard that. It's just a bristle brush at the end of the day, and we're just going to gently rub this over the surface. We don't need to rub hard or anything like that. It's just gently rub over the surface to create this sort of foam. And you can see the foam now is sort of creating, and it's got a lot of dirt and grime in there, which you're going to see once we obviously rub this away. You're going to see the dirt and grime coming off there. As you can clearly see, there's a lot of dirt and grime on there. It's absolutely gross. So we're just going to completely clean the whole seat and just proceed through the whole section. We just got to make sure that all this dirt and grime is off. It's going to help put softness into the seat as we're going over, to clean this. And that's the beauty of what we've got to try to achieve. We're just going to do half of the seat today, just to show you, the sort of processes going through doing that. And it's just going to, we'll swap to another clean area, as you can clearly see, and we're going to wipe all that dirt away again. And you can see it's revealing the nice sort of true sort of blue colour that it's got, and you can see the dirt coming off is staggering. So we're now going to go up to the sort of pleated areas, and again, you don't need to put pressure on here when you're doing this. It's just light pressure. You just let the cleaner and the brush do the work. You don't need to put, as you can clearly see, we're not like putting pressure on and really digging that in. You're just literally going over the surface, very, very lightly over the surface. So all you need to do is just lightly over the surface, and it will remove all the ingrained dirt and grime that you see on the surface. And that's all you've got to do. You're not trying to press into the leather. You're just gently going over the surface, letting the cleaner do the work as it goes over the leather. It's very, very simple. Just let that do the work. It's going to do the work for you. It's going to take all the hardship out of really scrubbing. You're just gently going over the surface. And again, we'll swap to another clean section of the cloth, as you can clearly see. And we're going to wipe all this over again. And it's going to obviously have pulled away a nice amount of dirt for us on there again, as you can clearly see. It's staggering the amount that's coming off. So we'll carry on going to this section now. The good thing with the leather cleaner is it's totally natural, and this is going to actually inject softness back into the leather as a starting stage for doing the softening cream processes next. So this will put the softness back into it. which is going to help. And then obviously the softening cream is going to add even more softness back into it. There's some special ingredients in the cleaner that we can't give away, trade secrets, but it's a fantastic cleaner, you know, with some amazing ingredients in there that's going to help really soften that seat considerably and inject that softness back for you to help, you know, and aid with the softening process that we've got to do on these seats to restore them. But you can clearly see the difference there already. The colour's coming alive, and you can see the brush is actually quite dirty, to be fair. So just clean this final little area here on the seat. Again, just gently going over the seat. You don't need to put on any extreme pressure or anything like that. Just gently over, giving them a real good clean. And you can see the foam is quite a dirty colour, so you know that there's a lot of dirt and grime on the seats. With it being so bad, what we'd probably recommend is once you've done this over once, is to potentially go over the seat again, you know, and sort of remove any further dirt and grime that's on there to enable the softening process to work very effectively. But that automatically starts to feel a lot nicer than what it did do previously. And you can see there, it's, you know, there's very little colour left on the seat anyway to begin with. So the colour's nearly gone, but I mean, you can see all the dirt and grime that's coming off. It's quite staggering really what's coming off the, you know, onto the cloth. And you can now see the difference there as we pan over the seat right through the middle here. You can see where we've cleaned it right through. It's an amazing difference. All this sort of damage that you see here, this we're going to be repairing. It's very thin as this, so we've got to be very careful here. And if we were to push that really hard, which we're not going to, if we were to push that really hard, that would go straight through into a hole. So we need to strengthen these fibres up with a product called Fibre Binder. It's like a watery filler glue. Once we've got all this cleaned, we've got the softening stages done, the prepping done, and then the softening again, which is obviously going to be stage 4. So it's going to be softened twice. We would then put Fibre Binder into these particular areas, which is then going to obviously strengthen all those and give it a lot more longevity and extend its lifespan. I mean, because this is, you know, a seat is very old, and it's amazing the condition of it. It's remarkable for its age and considering how it's been stored, but it's going to be remarkable once it's restored also. So that is how you would clean your classic car leather interior. Simply spray it on, gently use the brush to go over the surface and wipe away all the dirt and grime.